A new program to train top law enforcement officers is opening at Jacksonville State University.
A chance to dry out over the next couple of days, but wet weather returns by Friday. We'll have the complete forecast coming up.
Coming up in sports, we have highlights, stats, and results from yesterday's basketball in East Alabama. We preview the night ahead for basketball and wrestling. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
Hello, we're glad you could join us. I'm Mike Stedham.
And I'm Katie Edwards.
Law enforcement officials from around Alabama joined State Attorney General Steve Marshall Monday as they officially opened the Southeastern Leadership Command College at JSU-McClellan. That facility will offer training to police officers from throughout the region who want to advance into leadership positions in their departments. JSU President Don Killingsworth says the college will be added to the Center for Best Practices in Law Enforcement and the Center for Applied Forensics, which already train hundreds of police officers each year.
Starting this spring, the program will help law enforcement professionals advance in their careers by providing them the education and training necessary to lead departments and agencies across our state and further as we get going.
Caleb Littlejohn, who leads the Center for Best Practices, says he envisions the 3 training programs at JSU becoming a place where a law enforcement officer can receive all the training he or she will need throughout an entire career. The Command College, he says, will prepare those officers to become the top leaders in their departments.
This will be a 9-week program that is dedicated to the future of law enforcement. The future dedicated to training the future of law enforcement leaders. In this program, students will focus on topics such as general management and leadership, conflict resolution, fiscal responsibilities, political, legal, and social issues that are facing current law enforcement leaders, as well as general law enforcement administration.
Attorney General Marshall says the leadership of JSU is to be commended for making a commitment years ago to offer the best law enforcement classes available in Alabama.
For many years, JSU has planted its flag and said, we are going to be the institution that trains and supports law enforcement, and this is just simply that next step. Mark Hopwood has come a long way. From a vision that you had, that you sold, where Dr. Killingsworth was able to embrace, to be able to say that this institution would do great things, and you have. And one thing I would say to this board is thank you for allowing me to do that. I think there was a vision many years ago that was presented to you that frankly many would have rejected. But yet today, you're seeing the value in that decision and allowing remarkable people to do remarkable things. And the reality is this state is better off as a result of that. And the one thing that I think many of my law enforcement friends in here can appreciate is that when you look at the value of what JSU has done, it's not just in the investment in law enforcement.
When we return, pedestrian safety in Jacksonville is the goal of a $3 million project unveiled this week.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
The Alabama Department of Transportation on Monday announced changes designed to improve traffic and pedestrian movements on the campus of Jacksonville State University and the square in downtown Jacksonville. Some of the JSU changes included in the plan are an extensive amount of new sidewalk along State Route 204, as well as the addition of a small median with a buffer zone for pedestrians crossing Alabama 21 in the middle of campus. The square in downtown Jacksonville will also see the modification of existing crosswalks to provide better lines of sight for both pedestrians and motorists. AlDOT is also considering a raised separation between traffic on Pelham Road and the parking in front of the businesses on the square. The announcement follows a year-long planning process that included AlDOT, Jacksonville State University, and City of Jacksonville officials. A public involvement meeting is scheduled for February 15th at 4 p.m. to gather public input on the proposed changes. The meeting will be held at the City of Jacksonville's Public Safety Complex.
The cost for all these improvements is approximately $3 million. A portion of the work on campus will be funded by an AlDOT Transportation Alternative Program grant, with the University and City of Jacksonville jointly providing the $200,000 match to leverage $800,000 in federal funding. All additional funding will be provided by AlDOT. When we come back, a traffic accident early Sunday morning did damage to the town square in Jacksonville.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today. This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
A Georgia woman drove her car into Jacksonville's public square and damaged property there early Sunday morning. Olivia Hart, 18, of Bowden, was arrested for driving under the influence and charged with possession of a forged instrument in the first degree. A city official said she drove her vehicle over a curb and crashed into a red brick stage at the north end of Public Square Park early Sunday morning at about 2 a.m. A portion of the stage is torn down and crumbling. She was booked into the Calhoun County Jail and is pictured in a mugshot with an injury to her face.
John Holder joins us now in the East Alabama News Weather Center to talk about all this rain and wind.
John, tell us about it.
Mike and Katie, we did have some very beneficial rainfall last night and this morning across East Alabama, and more is on the way. We'll have the complete forecast for all of East Alabama next.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Temperature-wise, things have been in reverse the last 24 hours across East Alabama. The high today, 54 degrees. That came early this morning around 8 or 9 o'clock. Temperatures have been dropping since then. Our low temperature actually this afternoon around 3 or 4 o'clock at 50 degrees. So everything is kind of in reverse. We're exactly where we should be for high temperatures on the average. And we've been basically the low temperature way above the average, but that is about to change. Record high temperature 75, the record low 2 degrees, 6:48 your sunrise time, and once again your sun setting this evening at 4:52. We mentioned a chance to dry out. You'll see that coming in the next couple of days. Weather on your street for your Tuesday night. Actually, a few snow flurries tonight across East Alabama. This would be after 8 o'clock or so tonight. So you might see something out there, especially in the higher elevations. No big deal with this, but you might see a snowflake out there or two later on tonight. Gate 5 Road in Alexandria. Look hard out in the Alexandria Valley. You might see a snowflake tonight with a low dropping down to 32 degrees. Coming up on your Wednesday, going to take you out to Pine Hill Drive in Choccolocca in eastern Calhoun County. Clouds in the morning, giving way to sunshine in the afternoon. but it's going to be cold tomorrow. Only 47 for the high out in Choccolocca on Pine Hill Drive. And as we look at the rest of the week coming up, calm for a couple of days and then storms returning to East Alabama by Friday. Airport Road and Coldwater, get ready for 60s for the most part for the rest of the week. We get into Thursday and Friday. We're going to see temperatures in the low to mid 60s across East Alabama ahead of those storms that are coming back into the forecast on Friday. Here's the 7-day forecast, and you'll see those storms coming. We'll dry out, we'll warm up. A cold day tomorrow. The best day weather-wise coming up in the next several days will be on Thursday. Plenty of sunshine, dry, the high at 60 degrees. But then on Friday, a 100% chance of showers and thunderstorms. The severe weather threat was mainly in South Alabama last night and this morning. That could change on Friday. We could be looking at strong to severe thunderstorms in here during the day on Friday. Look at that high temperature at 63 degrees, a little touch of springtime coming, and that's why we will have a chance of storms coming in here on Friday and maybe lasting into Friday night. That will be out of here by the weekend. We're going to clear out. We're going to bring sunshine your way, but it's going to be much colder. Only 44 for the high on Saturday, 50 for the high on Sunday. Another chance of rain back in here on Monday. That should not be a big deal. And then I'll draw your attention to this temperature right here. Looks like the coldest air so far this winter is headed our way by Tuesday of next week. That will come in here on Monday night perhaps. The high on Tuesday just barely above freezing for the high and 14 right now for the low on Tuesday morning across East Alabama. We mentioned the drought-busting rainfall that we had in the last 24 hours, and here it is. You see a big swath of 4 to 5 inches of rainfall all the way from southwest Alabama and Washington County, really coming up through Selma, Montgomery, lasting all the way up through Talladega County. Here in East Alabama, in our area, we had some big rainfall numbers. We had 3 inches over here in Cleburne County, along the Talladega-Calhoun County line, 2 inches, and over here on the Etowah-Calhoun County line, we had 3.5 inches of rain. That was in 24 hours, ending at 7 o'clock this morning. Obviously, we had rain beyond 7 o'clock this morning, so we're going to see a lot of folks with 3 to 4 inches of rain in about a 30-hour time period. That is a drought buster. We will be back here tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for your breakfast and morning forecast. In the meantime, it's sports time now. Namath Pitts is coming along, and he's going to talk about high school basketball played during the middle of the school day. He's got the report for you coming up next. Namath?
Thanks, John. It was a slower Monday for basketball in East Alabama, but things were not slow for the Weaver Bearcats, who hosted an in-school game against Ohatchee. The Bearcats went 2-0 for the day, and we have the highlights and the results. It can take a lot to build chemistry, but sometimes it just comes naturally. In the case of Weaver's junior trio of Keyshawn Allen, Caden Gooden, and Harper Williams, their chemistry started building on the playground in elementary school. Yesterday against Ohatchee, the trio put on a show and each reached double digits in the 63-58 win. Harper Williams led the Bearcats scoring effort with a team-high 19 points in the win, with Keyshawn Allen piling up 18 points and Caden Gooden adding 14 points. Colby Hester led Ohatchee with a game-high 23 points. Jake Robertson and Luke Vincent each finished in double figures for Ohatchee, with Robertson totaling 12 points and Vincent adding 10. And you see the score right there. The Weaver Bearcats boys would be victorious over Ohatchee 63-58. In the first of several Class 1A Area 8 games this week, Connor Richardshagen and Carson Harris scored 17 points apiece to lead Faith Christian past Donahoe. Richardshagen hit 2 3-pointers and Harris hit 1. Harris was also 8 for 10 at the free throw line. The Lions' other top performers were Joseph Carroll, 8 points, and Parker Robertson, 7 points. Donahoe's top performers were Jaden Cameron, 17 points, and Sam Johnson, 12 points. Cleburne County, much like Weaver, hosted an in-school game with Central Clay being their opposing visitor. Last time Central Clay played in Cleburne County's gym, they won the Holiday Hoops Classic, both boys and girls. Gray Freeman paced Cleburne County with 10 points, though, as they topped Central Clay 43-38. The Tigers' other top performers where Jacob Cavender 8 points and Cade Schubert 7 points. Leading the Bearcats in front of the student-filled gym was senior Dacamion Gibbs, who piled on 17 points and nailed a three-point basket to lead Weaver's scoring effort. Point guard Aaliyah Marks also finished in double digits with 11 points in the win. For Ohatchee, it was Keon Garber, who piled on a team-high 12 points, while Emily Riddle scored 10. Tabby Davidson finished with 8 points for Ohatchee and hit a pair of three-point baskets in the fourth quarter. Her other 2 points came from the free throw line. Senior Ariana Richmond scored 8 points for the Bearcats, with 4 coming in the fourth quarter. And McKinley Davis hit a three-point basket in the third quarter as Weaver would defeat Ohatchee 47-40 and hold off the second half surge by the Indians. Tonight is one of the busiest nights we have seen this year, with every East Alabama team hitting the hardwood. We have a preview of all the games that include an East Alabama team. Let's start with the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Coach Van Meter and the boys, along with the girls, will make the trip north a little bit, northwest I should say, as they will face off against Coleman. So Oxford tonight will face off against Coleman at Coleman. Also tonight, Coach Todd Lumpkin, Coach Dempsey will be at home against Montford. Welburn's hosted a lot of games lately in the Wade Waldrop Gym, and tonight is no different as the Montford Lions make the trip from Talladega County. Tonight it is area play for Anniston and Hanley as the Bulldogs, both boys and girls, go on the road to Hanley. And these two have always been a battle between the Hanley boys and the Anniston boys. And then how about Coach Eddie Bullock and Coach Courtney Strange Screws of Hanley? This is going to be arguably one of the toughest games of the season for the Anniston girls. Going to be tough for both the Hanley boys and Anniston boys. This is probably the game to keep an eye on tonight as the Anniston Bulldogs make the trip to Hanley. Also tonight, it's area play for Faith Christian and Wadley. In 1A, Wadley will make the trip to Faith Christian. Coach Corey Hughes and the Lions are getting ready for the county tournament, but first, they have a big area game against Wadley. And obviously this game right here will go a long way in determining who gets to host the area tournament, so all eyes are on Faith Christian tonight in Anniston when they host Wadley. Also tonight, this game was originally supposed to be at White Plains. It was moved to Cherokee County. So White Plains and Coach Chris Randall, along with Coach Sprayberry and the girls, will both make the trip to Center tonight, where they will face Cherokee County at Cherokee County. Sachs is going to go on the road down to Lineville, or as some would say, middle of nowhere. They're going to face Central Clay, the Vols, tonight at Central Clay. Central Clay is fresh off of playing at Cleburne County yesterday. They're going to host a Calhoun County team tonight when Coach Ginn and the Sachs Wildcats make the trip to Central Clay. Also tonight, it's another area game as Coach Kyle Wilson and Coach Aaron Jackson of the Indians will host the Westbrook Christian Warriors. This is the second time these two teams have met this season in area play, and the meeting this time around will be at Ohatchee. Also tonight, this is an area game as Alexandria makes the trip to Lincoln to face the Golden Bears, and this should be a good one. Two really solid athletic teams that shoot the ball well, as this is again area play in Class 5A when the Alexandria Valley Cubs make the trip to Lincoln. Also tonight, this is not area play, this is not area, but the Weaver Bearcats Coach Bo Wynn's team is going to face Cleburne County for the fourth time. Same thing for Coach Jamie Burns and the girls. So Weaver will make the trip to Cleburne County tonight looking to win the season series. Cleburne County is looking for the tie. Also tonight, it's a rematch of, well, things got a little zesty last time these two teams met. And by zesty, I mean Coach Morrow of Piedmont, who used to be the former coach of Jacksonville. Well, there were some handshakes that didn't happen after the game. So things could get interesting tonight at Piedmont when the Bulldogs host the Jacksonville Golden Eagles. And this is one to keep an eye on tonight as well, because again, whoever the officials are for tonight, they need to be all hands on deck, because this is going to, there's some bad blood between both of these programs. So things to keep an eye on tonight is Jacksonville on the road at Piedmont. And then it is, again, Jacksonville Christian. This is area play. The Thunder make the trip to Spring Garden. In terms of the girls, well, you got to hold off Coach Alston and Ace Alston, who's committed to Alabama. That's going to be tough. So all eyes will be on Tommy Miller's boys for the Thunder as they look to hold off Coach Bowman and the Spring Garden Panthers. And then the final game tonight is an area game as well. Pleasant Valley is going to go on the road to Woodland. This was a game last year that Pleasant Valley won both times as they look to try to get themselves in a good position. Area tournament-wise, this will obviously be a fight for 2-3 seeds right here, probably potentially contingent upon Rambert, of course. But Pleasant Valley and Coach Hood's team and Coach Muncher's team are both on the road at Woodland tonight. In terms of wrestling, Weaver and Piedmont are off tonight as they prepare for the AHSAA state duels bracket later this week. But 3 other East Alabama teams are in action tonight at home against other local teams. Let's start with the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Coach Rusty Mayfield and the Yellow Jackets are at home tonight, where they will host Coach Frank Hardzog and the Alexandria Valley Cubs, and then Coach Ben Carroll and the Welborn Panthers. So Oxford at home tonight, hosting 2 Calhoun County teams. Also tonight, as close as you can get to the Georgia state line, the Rambert Bulldogs are hosting East Alabama teams as Cleburne County Coach Jake Mayfield and the Tigers will make the trip to Rambert, and Coach Todd Manning and the White Plains Wildcats will also make the trip to Rambert. The Bulldogs are hosting Cleburne County and White Plains tonight. Keep an eye on Coach Meter's team as them and Cleburne County are both preparing for the state duels bracket. And then lastly, finally tonight, Pleasant Valley will be at home tonight where they'll host Cherokee County and Sacs. So Cherokee County, Curtis Souls, David Herrick, 2 really good wrestlers for Sacs. It's Tristan Garrett and John Bussey. Pleasant Valley's got Barron House, Connor Crump, 2 really good wrestlers from each program. There's others that are good as well. But interesting matchup tonight between Pleasant Valley, Cherokee County, and Sacs at Pleasant Valley. And that's it for EAN Local Sports. Let's go back over to Mike and Katie.
Thanks for the update, Namath, and thank you for watching today.
You can find us here online every weekday on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, and on our website, eastalabamanow.com. Just go to our video feed and watch us whenever it's convenient for you.
We'll see you back here Wednesday for your news on your schedule.